Welcome to Rewind, the podcast.
Something has changed within me.
Cynthia, you get to keep the job, girl.
We didn't work out a key.
We didn't work out a key. We didn't work out nothing. That was crazy.
Okay.
Yep.
It's happened.
It's happened.
The time has come.
I got my period. No. That was so stupid.
We saw Wicked.
We saw Wicked. Oh! Give me your best.
We already did that.
Did we? Last week? See,
Yeah.
I wasn't there mentally.
Yeah. So, okay. I want to hear your thoughts.
There's like an unraveling that has been happening to me since I've seen that movie. That's like my first big thought.
Okay, because the reason I want to start with you is because you hadn't seen the play, you hadn't read the books, you just kind of went in a little bit blind. So, as far as plot was concerned, was it what you thought it was going to be?
Nothing of the sort.
Okay.
I told Raven going in, and she kept a real good straight face. I was like, so I feel like, this is before the trailers, I said, I feel like Wicked is about Elphaba, Glinda, and the wizard all going to school together, and the wizard is Fiyero, and Fiyero gets with Elphaba and then cheats on her with Glinda, so that's how she becomes Wicked. And Raven was like, enjoy the movie. And then we saw the trailer, and I kind of started figuring out what was happening, but nothing to what we're going to do. Also, hello, hi, welcome to our Wicked review. We are going to be talking about the movie, spoiler alert, or as Raven told me, it's a 20-year-old play based off a book, based off a movie, based off another book.
Listen, and I get it. I am holding space for the people who have not seen and was not aware.
That's funny because I've been holding space for Defying Gravity.
Oh my gosh, have you? Me too.
Because we're in queer media.
Also, first of all, okay, we're bouncing all over the place, but I just want to say this.
Yes.
When I heard that lady say, like, oh, like, people have been holding space, stop laughing. I'm being so dead ass serious.
Are you for real?
I'm dead ass. When she said that, I was like, yeah, I also have been holding space for those lyrics since 2004. What are we talking about?
In that moment, especially when she said, I'm in queer media, and I found out it was for Out Magazine, no tea, no shade, I was like, this is why people have problems with the LGBTQ community.
The way people took it, like, it just felt very normal to me. Like, I just accepted it. Like, yes, you hold space for the lyrics of Defying Gravity. What are you talking about? Who doesn't hold space?
But she was saying it like it was this brand new concept. Like,
She
hey,
did
you know that water's wet?
And I got where she was coming from. Also, the funny part was her backpedaling once Cynthia got really emotional and invested. And she was like, well, I've only seen a couple of people. Well, I don't know how much it's really like.
I mean, I'm in queer media, so.
I was like,
don't throw us under the bus.
I was like, stay on your shit.
Yes,
that's what you said. Stand behind it.
Because queers have been standing on it since 2003, 2004.
That's why I was like, I did not think that was weird. I think you're weird if you don't hold space.
Yeah.
For Defying Gravity.
The first time you truly hear Defying Gravity, you're like, so if you care to find me, look to the, and you're like, that's not a new thing. My thing, and again, it's not going to be out of, I wasn't annoyed, but people were like, Cynthia was acting like she wrote the song. I was like, no, I think Cynthia was trying not to laugh her ass off.
Oh, really?
Because if you watch it, first of all, I guarantee you they're exhausted. And she goes, people have been holding space for those lyrics. And Cynthia goes, oh, really? I didn't know that. That's what I wanted. And it looks like she's trying not to be like, girl, be for real.
Oh, well, she looked like she was gonna cry to me.
No, I think she was like, how do I give this lady what she needs from her like amazing statement? And then Ariana Grande
literally us
started I was like, what is happening? Holding on to that nail.
That one little finger.
No, because that's why I think she backpedaled, because in that moment she's like, what is this didn't go well.
Yeah, but I just think Defying Gravity is so like it's so moving. That, like I said, it's weird. It would be weird if you heard that song and felt nothing. Like, you're the problem.
Yeah.
But back to you.
Back to me. The Glinda of the group, apparently.
The Glinda of the group. What was tell me your takeaways.
My takeaways, first of all, sobbed through half of it.
Yeah.
I've already seen it twice. Love it.
Yeah.
I was so... They just don't make good movies like that anymore. The attention to detail, the set, the acting, the characters they've chosen. It was just I loved it. The messaging of the show.
Yeah.
Because, the first time I saw it, we were joking. I was like, oh, you're the Elphaba, I'm the Glinda. And then the second time, there was a part of me, don't laugh, that was like, I kind of relate to Elphaba and I'll explain it later.
But, and that's, I'm not being funny. I think that's why that character is so beloved, because everybody feels that way about Elphaba.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone sees themselves in that character, so that makes sense.
Yeah, not to go too deep too soon. It was the almost like the queer side of it for me. I was like, I get it. Mm-hmm. But the movie was great. I thought it was casted wonderfully. Ariana Grande. If I had any doubts, this is my formal apology. I will send you flowers in the mail later. Amazing. What about you?
Okay. I was nervous going in because we have been waiting for so long. Mm-hmm. And this has become bigger than big. It's just like out of the stratosphere big. I was nervous I was going to be let down because I am like such an avid Wicked lover. Mm-hmm. And it like exceeded all of my expectations. Like it was better than even I thought it could be. Casted perfectly. The live vocals.
Girl.
It's like unreal. Really is unreal. It just added that extra element that like, okay, this is my overarching thought before I get into the littles. The fact that they did that, it bridges that gap in why people don't be liking musical movies like that. Is because
what do you mean?
Because the beauty of the stage is watching people make choices and getting to see how they make the choices. Like the you are just too good. And she goes, oh.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Like you don't get that in a movie adaptation situation because they got to make those choices in real time.
Yeah.
And I think it brought the magic of the stage and the magic of filmmaking and really mesh it together really well. So it felt like true to the authentic art of it, but on a bigger scale.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a doggy on a dashboard right now. I'm like, yes, girl, preach it.
I've given this a lot of thought on why it was so profound. Because like when you see it on stage, you're like, oh my God, like it's so good. But seeing it on stage on steroids with like the set and the costuming and the casting and all the extras, it just makes it even bigger and even more breathtaking.
Yeah.
And the choice to do the live vocals, I think, is what made it that.
Oh, yeah.
For me.
Especially, we heard like some behind the scenes, because like you said, they made Barbie marketing look like, like, come see our movie.
Yeah.
And like, Barbie was great. And I saw Barbie a lot in the theater. I will say, like, walking into Barbie the first time when I walked out, I was like, that was good. It wasn't like when I saw Wicked and I was like, I literally want to turn around and go right back in.
Right.
Like, I was so just like, with that, sobbed. As like I said, but I just think yes. And we talked about this with Agatha all along with the sets.
The sets.
It just makes you act better when you can really be in a place. You're not on now obviously she was on like a blue screen when she was flying.
Yeah.
But you can just be there and you can be present and you can make those choices.
Also, what was your favorite number?
Ooh. Okay, so like when we first were there, I was looking forward to Defying Gravity the whole time. But the way they did What Is This Feeling?
That's mine.
So good. And then that little loathing. And then they did that little dance. I want to run down my apartment hallway and do that up and down.
That
I loved
mine.
It was
visually,
so good.
it was so good.
It starts with the split screen,
yes.
like we do on this podcast.
Oh, so good.
Yes. Just, what is this feeling? So sudden and new. And the way they just subtly changed it when they go, to respawn. Yes. Like instead of yes, because I feel like sometimes those vocal things happen in Broadway to keep energy up. And I feel like with the movie, there was other things to
keep the energy up.
Yeah. So now I want to go a little deeper.
Okay.
Did you cry at all? I know you're a thug.
I'm thug. I got misty-eyed. I don't think an actual tear fell.
Okay.
I watched it the second time. I really had to hold back the crying.
What part? That's the specific
oh
part.
gosh, the first the wizard and I, because that's the first time we hear Cynthia's voice.
Yeah.
Like that's her first we singing.
And even though those clips came out before, me and Raven and Gabe, we were like, we are not watching these. Like we got to a point where it's like, I want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see it on screen.
When she started singing The Wizard and I the first time, I was like, I mean, it was just started, and I was like, this voice.
Her voice is, when it's rare that everyone can see someone's purpose. Mm-hmm. And it's that is I have a few people in my brain that pop up, Oprah or like that kind of thing where it's everyone collectively can hold hands and be like, you doing what you meant to do. Mm-hmm. That lady, Cynthia, if she were doing anything other than what she was doing, it would be a waste.
Oh, absolutely.
Good for her for sticking with it and going after it to get to this point in her career, because what we would all be missing out on if she had not. It is a true gift.
Oh yeah.
It's just, it makes, and I wonder, I wish I could sit down with her and talk to her about this.
Maybe for part 2.
Wicked,
we're already starting the campaign. Call us for part 2. We are a package deal.
I just want to know, does she feel the way about her gift that we all do?
Some would uglily say yes, but I think she does. And I mean that in the most respectful way. I hope
she does.
To me, I compare her almost the way I feel, the way I react to her music, when I would hear Whitney Houston.
Yeah. She's on
people,
that level.
Yes, people can cover even songs that she does. It's not the same.
It's not.
To get churchy, there's an anointing on that voice.
It is an anointing.
The oil is oiling.
It is just, and she is so petite and pulled together and very demure and poised and all of those things. And then it's just this it's almost staggering. And the way that she commits to characters, for her to be as good of a singer as she is, and to be equally as good of an actress as she is, it makes me sick.
Mary, holding those notes while she is catapulting through the air.
I can't even talk about
it. And Pink's been doing it for years, and she said, whoop, there we go.
I can't talk about it.
Okay. Oh, are you about to cry? Let's keep talking about it.
No, but it is she's just so good at so many things. And I love Ariana Grande. I think she did great. And the tea that I got served on TikTok was that we're going to so they were talking about the Oscars and what this is going to look like as far as nominations with lead and supporting. Okay. And the tea I got served was that this first movie was very Elphaba heavy, where Cynthia really got to shine. So she would be considered lead and Ariana would be considered supporting for when they,
submit.
Submit for the Oscars. And that the second film will be more Glinda heavy. And then Ariana will be considered lead. And then Cynthia would be considered supporting. Okay. Because I felt like Ariana was great. Phenomenal, beautiful Glinda. But I just felt like impact-wise, Cynthia did it for me. Yeah. So I'm excited to see what this part 2 is going to...
Yeah. I will say they obviously, when it came to that movie, they both held their own
100%.
So great. Let me tell you where... Okay, I got a little misty, and there were some tears rolling down during The Wizard and I. When they were in the Ozdust Ballroom... Mary, the way I was crying, they just moved that bus on Extreme Makeover Home Edition when they're doing the little,
when she turns her head and you see the single tear and Glinda wipes it,
and you see her go, it's okay. The way I was literally in there going,
y'all, I was like, oh. And okay. Elphaba's eyes, it's the eyes. And she talks about them having to pick, because they were deciding what eye color to do. Should it be Cynthia's eyes? And then she was like, how otherworldly do we want to get? And then she said they were too green where it looked weird. And they settled on that color of green for her eyes. Yeah. And I think that it was the perfect choice. Yeah. Because the way, and also her eyes would get I relate to her in this, like so red in like the emotional scenes. Like she's a red eye crier and I'm also a red eye crier. And like watching it like made Elphaba even more human.
Yeah.
It was just like the little things like that where I was like...
Yeah, like when somebody
Y'all
cries
did
in a
that.
movie and it's just like beautiful white and it's just like, I'm crying and it's like, okay, well, you're a pretty
she
crier.
was really crying.
Yeah.
Like the emotion was so real.
I understand now why they said at the end of those scenes they would be husks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I saw a tweet that said it was this black guy. He said, them white girls was out there crying during that scene like they were at a Joyce Meyer conference. That's funny.
But also everyone knows that feeling. I mean, hopefully not that bad of like being made fun of.
I have. 5th grade was real hard. And I'm not being funny. Girl, not the time.
Gosh.
Different day. Different episode. Growing up gay.
Yeah, but it was sweet to like see what you would hope would happen, which is that at least one person would step up and be there to support that person.
That specific scene had so many levels to it because it was like all it takes is one person to show kindness and all it takes is one person to change a narrative. But at the same time too, I was also getting like a little booty swell because I was like, it takes one person to do that and suddenly everybody's like, oh, this is the cool new thing. And I'm like, no, you could have been f***ing nice to her the whole time.
Yeah.
So I just like levels.
Yes, but the underlying prejudice based on her skin color stops them from doing that. And I think that is why Wicked 2 is so poignant, is because it is what we live through, like on a day-to-day basis. One girl on TikTok was like, being a black woman feels like you're an Elphaba all the time. And one part that really, like, for some reason, like, hit me here was when they're in Oz with the wizard, and she's going up to the grimoire.
The Grimmery.
Grimory. What's a grimoire? The Grimory.
It's a grim armoire.
That's what I thought. And she's like, no, let me prove myself. And I'm like, you don't even have to. These people don't even have no powers.
They're over there together.
They don't have no powers. And she felt like she had to prove herself to people who couldn't even hold a candle to her.
Do you think she said that, though, because of what Madame Morrible said?
Yes.
And but that's the thing is I was like, I could see that because I saw it twice, I said, and the second time I saw the manipulation where she was like, maybe it's not today that she can do it and like blah, blah, blah. And it's like they almost, like you said, it led up to it when you're like, you don't need to do that.
Well, also, that's what people do to you, though, when they're lesser than. They try to make you feel like you have to prove yourself to them. When really she was the one who held the power the whole time. And like that like really stuck out to me that like, people will try to make you feel small and make you feel like what you're offering isn't all that to dim your light. Like they were jealous of her.
Exactly.
And they wanted to use her power to their benefit.
DMV workers, take note. Over your head.
What are we talking about?
Bad joke. I will say this as well. We're going to go a little deeper.
Oh my God.
I told you I could. This could be a 7-hour podcast, but I'm keeping it light. Though the lore I've already seen on TikTok about just the symbolism and how well John Chu did at making it narratives. John M. Chu, making the narrative for this is like for queer representation, for political narrative, for all these things. The way I'm just like consuming, like the way Glinda feels, or Galinda, if you will, during No One Mourns the Wicked, and how she's singing this thing, and she's really, people are like, if you look at it, she's singing it about herself. She's like, no one's mourning me because I'm the only one left, or whatever.
Like the part where she's like about being lonely, and like how she just let her like, because whether you believe, well, I know in the book they're lovers or have like a romantic aspect. In the
Really?
It's like hinted at,
don't they
Okay.
don't they
Very
kiss?
like fried green tomatoes.
but it's not like described in like what manner. It just says Elphaba kisses Glinda.
And
okay.
we've kissed.
We've kissed.
We've kissed.
I've never kissed you a day. in my
We
life.
kissed at that karaoke bar. And
We did?
Alyssa was like, and I was like, you're next. And she was like, why is everybody kissing everybody?
I don't remember.
And I was
that.
like, because they're all drunk. And she was like, pass.
I hate kissing people.
I know. I actually don't. I really like kissing, but I've been
I
told
do
I'm very
remember
good at it.
kissing Gabe
Cool.
because everyone was really jealous. Anyway, What were we talking about?
Wicked.
Oh, the kiss. It was about them being romantic. Oh, this is what I was gonna say about No One More's Wicked. Okay. Stop puckering your lips like you want to kiss me.
No, I was listening. That's my listening.
Puckering.
Girl, go.
Whether it's romantic or not, like Elphaba, like they're soulmates, and like the love for them is so for each other, and like their connection is so deep that like losing your like one true love in whatever capacity is like so isolating.
Yeah.
And I thought Ariana did a really good job of like capturing that moment too.
Well, riddle me this. You just said this. Do you believe that you can have a soulmate and that does not mean love?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have one? You've met one?
Yes.
Cool. I won't dig further unless you want to give it up.
No.
Oh,
good.
okay. Well,
I think I have several. Like I think I have some that are like lifelong and then some that are seasonal.
Okay. Well, because I still haven't seen part 2, obviously because it's not out, but I don't know how it ends. So I've got some guesses on what's gonna happen. But I
want to
think
share them with the class?
Yeah, I think I will. I think it's gonna kind of be like Maleficent in a way, where we're gonna see the Wizard of Oz from like behind the curtain and see what was like really happening.
Isn't that what we just did?
No, I'm talking like the actual plot of the Wizard of Oz for part 2.
Okay.
Like, because the only thing I know, spoiler alert, is I saw a tweet that where Dorothy from the 1939 movie was hugging the Scarecrow, and she was hugging him hard because that's Jonathan Bailey, and I was like, I need to get off Twitter. But it's also a 20-year-old play. So I don't know. I'm excited, but I think it's going to be like what was happening with the witches while that was happening instead of from Dorothy's POV. But we'll see.
The Wizard of Oz is like the media portrayal of what happened, and Wicked is like the actual.
That's what I've heard. I've heard it's like they said the Wizard of Oz is propaganda, Wicked is the documentary or something like that. And I was like, that's
Which
lit.
is so cool that these were created by different people. And that they just like, he was like, Gregory, is Gregory a man?
He's a gay man.
Okay.
I stalked him on Instagram last night. He's cute.
It was like, oh no, there's a deeper story here. And thank goodness that like the rights were up or whatever to where you could make more art regarding it.
Yeah.
So smart. Gregory,
Yeah.
you're a smart person.
Very smart. Okay, so the other thing I want to say is the political aspect of it all. We've done a lot of politics recently, and I don't want to get too deep into this, but the allegory.
CNN.
Don't. I'd like to talk about celebrities, but the allegory and the symbolism of it all. I don't know if allegory is the right word, but I feel like, Mary, it is exactly what's happening in America right now.
Talk to me.
We've got this beautiful figurehead that everybody follows and believes everything they say.
Okay.
And he uses other people to do his bidding.
Okay.
And people are standing up against that, and they are silencing them wherever they can.
Yeah.
AKA Project 2025.
Yeah.
And the craziest thing I have heard all week long is that someone said, I watched this movie and it's very clear that Donald Trump is Elphaba because nobody gets him and he is trying to do good for this place and he is being marketed as evil by the media. And I was like, Mary, you have skipped every English class. You don't know a thing about a thing. And I need you to get off the internet before I actually get in the comments.
I literally saw a comment today that said that it was like a Christian page that reviews movies. And they were saying that the Wicked movie is absolutely horrible. And someone was like, I agree with the play. The play is great, but this movie, they really did it dirty. And I'm like, it's the same thing. And it's so unholy. And that Wicked, it's in the name. And I'm like, well, it's in the play name as well.
Can I go off about that real quick? This is my favorite thing about when any movie that's like remotely popular comes out. There's always one Christian mom who goes to see it and gets on her Facebook and says, Mamas, I saw it, so you wouldn't have to. I actually saw it twice. I went once, and I wasn't sure about it, so I took all of my friends to see it a second time, and we are keeping our babies away from this movie. It's witches. It's witchcraft. I think they're lesbians. They are being mean to Donald Trump. I can't put my finger on it now, but I just kind of know they are. Keep your babies away. I watched it, so you don't have to, a.k.a. I'm still doing what I'm telling you not to do. And I just want everybody to be safe. And it gets shared like wildfire. And when I say it lights my soul like somebody put oil and fire together, it makes me want to kick over every light. It is so fake, so Madame Morrible of it all.
Also, people only do that so that people can be like, oh, Mary Beth, you just love the Lord so much. And thank you so much for warning me to keep my babies away from that. That's why they do that.
Exactly.
Because they want to be the pinnacle of the whole situation. And it's like, girl.
Well, this brings me back to another political thing. A guy on TikTok was talking about Glinda during No One Mourns the Wicked, realizing she is the evil one. And he was going from the theory of, are you good or are you good for the system?
Oh, you better. Oh, he ate that up.
He ate it up. Sir, I will tag it right
Yeah,
here.
'cause
But
you
I
ate
was
that up.
ate it up, and I said, and to me, that's why I said in the second one I felt more like Alpha, because when I was trying to be a good straight boy, everybody was like, yeah, whatever. And, they were like, oh, we kind of know. And then when I came out and it was like, no, this is who I am, they were like, you're evil, you're backsliding, you're doing this. I just can't be your friend anymore. I love you. I can't talk to you. And I was like, all right, well, then I'm just a horrible person. And I'm just gay.
It's true, though, that, and that's why Wicked is so good, because it blurs the lines of good and evil. Because, oh gosh, well, I can't say that because we haven't seen part 2 yet. But
Oh, would it ruin it for me?
not ruin it, but there's truth. 2 things can be true. Wicked is the definition of 2 things can be true. And I think that when you're talking, and even in the case of and this might just be from my perspective of a person who genuinely believes that there's nobody too low for grace and repentance, that even the most wicked have a story and not a reason or an excuse, but an experience that leads them down a path to make certain choices. And typically those people have been mistreated, disenfranchised, not taken care of. And like I said, it's not an excuse, but it changes the way that we treat people and the way that we look at people too. So I think that's more the point of Wicked than Hum Shabba spells.
Oh, I was like, what? The what?
It's even the tagline of the movie. Are you born wicked, or is it
Yeah.
thrust upon you?
Yeah.
Thrust. Sorry. I like that word.
Thrust.
This is the last thing I want to say about the political and analogies.
Okay.
Woo! I need to take my fish oil. I was discussing some lore with my friend Steven, and he was talking about how he saw a TikTok of a black lady that was like, I'm so happy that Cynthia Erivo is playing this role, and as a black woman. There have been black alphabas on stage before, not many, but
There's been one.
There's only
on
one?
Broadway.
Okay.
And one Glinda, or maybe 1 or 2 Glindas that have been black.
Have there been? Oh, see, I
Okay.
didn't know there was black Glindas. But I knew that there's one Elphaba that has been black on Broadway. There have been black Elphabas off Broadway
Yeah.
productions, but on Broadway, there's only been one.
The scale is very thin. Well, they said the beauty of Cynthia even playing that role as well goes deeper into just like we're talking about Elphaba, because Indina Menzel, for instance, she can play green, she can play this outcast, this blah, blah. She's playing a character. When they call cut, they do their bows. She goes home, she washes her green skin off, she goes right back into white woman in performance. Black women, Cynthia can take all that green off, she's still the character, and people are still dissecting her any other way. Like you said a couple weeks ago, I can't turn off being black. And I feel like that's, in the context of Wicked, it's like she could never turn off being green.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, that's good. And Cynthia said, that was why the micro braids were so important. And there was because she was like, I'm me underneath the green. And she was like, and that's why I can connect to that character. So she was like, I wanted there to be a physical representation of the real me underneath this green to connect the two. But I think it's different. And I love Idina Menzel. She is
She's the queen. She originated the role.
Everything to me.
Yes.
I love her. What?
The cameo.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, spoiler cameo.
Yeah, their cameo was amazing.
It was awesome.
But I agree that it just comes from a different place when it is a person who can connect it to like an everyday experience. And like I said, that doesn't take away from, I'm sure there has probably been times in Idina's life where she's been the outcast or been, you know, bullied or made fun of. And like she has things to draw from that too. But again, you can't change your circumstances as a Black person. Also, Cynthia was saying how, you know, when she auditioned for Elphaba and they called her to tell her she received the role, she was like, I didn't think they would pick me because I didn't think that I looked the part. Like I never thought like that I would get this opportunity to do this anyway. So like the fact that like she went into it kind of feeling that way because she's a Black woman and then getting that part, I think it just helped her shape the character so much better.
I agree. Gabe, any thoughts on?
I mean, I like loved The Wizard of Oz since I was a kid. That's like my all-time favorite movie. I had like red slippers as a kid, like running around my house.
I love that.
I know they. Anyways, one of my grandma's friends, we ran into her not too long ago, and she went up to my mom and was like, I just remember your son running around in little red slippers and saying he wanted to be Dorothy.
Was your mom like, oh?
Yep.
I know our moms are kind of the same, so not to tell your tea.
But yeah, so just to see like another like level of like the universe and everything, it just was phenomenal.
Yeah.
This is why I'm reading the books.
Yeah.
Because I just like I'm not done with like knowing more. And I also want to see the dark.
Like the more dark sided
yes.
of it. Yeah. I was gonna say because
the adult Oz. Like I'm very excited to get through these.
Someone said in the book like the Oz Dust Ballroom is like a sex party.
I mean, literally in the first like 2 pages, it calls Elphaba a hermaphrodite.
Which I don't know. Is that an okay word now?
I don't think so. Now it would be intersex. Well, that's okay if that's what they put in the book.
Yeah.
I think it'd be intersex now.
Okay. Yeah. I was just curious, but I want to read it too. I will say I got it on my Kindle. I rented it from the library.
Also, if I'm incorrect about that, please correct me.
Oh yeah, we're not above correction.
Please, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But as far as I know, that's what it is.
Yeah. I checked it out from my local library on my Kindle.
I need to start doing that.
You do. It's really good. And it's like free. And if you don't like the book, you don't, Anyways, you're supporting the local library. Let me put it that way.
Wait, can I do that?
Well, I will. No, read this because there's like 300 people on the wait list right now.
Well, I will say this. Usually I am audible. I did want the physical copy of this one because I do want to flip the pages, but I have a feeling I'm going to be doing both because I love Audible. I am mostly an Audible person, but I will say I find myself with like fantasy and nonfiction. I always get that mixed up. What's nonfiction?
It's real.
Family. Okay. Thank you. I get those mixed up.
What's nonfiction? Your life.
Nonfiction, I prefer Audible or like autobiographies. Why can't I talk? Autobiographies and nonfiction books, I prefer on Audible. I find myself preferring the hard copy for fiction.
Yeah.
But I don't do a lot of fiction.
Yeah. I think there's like a little science to that. Like you love the act of like diving into something that's like a fantasy. I will say you'll probably need to do both. I'm not calling myself stupid, but the first couple chapters I was like, this is giving like KJV 12th grade reading level. I was like, whew, okay. It took a second. But before we move on to the next topic.
I'm a pretty good reader, so I think I'll be okay. But I'll let y'all know.
Well, before we move on to the next topic, there was one more thing I wanted to go over about the Wicked movie.
Okay. Loathing, unadulterated loathing.
Okay, so my friends sent me a thread on X. I have not jumped over to Blue Sky yet, and
are white people getting on Blue Sky now?
I guess so.
Oh, welcome.
Now it's like the cool thing, I guess.
Oh,
so.
cool.
It was a tweet that said actors and actresses who auditioned for Wicked, a thread, and I just wanted to read some of these off and see what your just like initial thoughts.
Okay.
So for Elphaba, now I don't know how old this list is, or it's Twitter, so sometimes how correct. So
correct,
but it feels real. Lady Gaga, Nicole Scherzinger, Jessie J.
Time out. You going too fast.
Oh, okay.
Lady Gaga, yes. Who was the second person?
Nicole Scherzinger.
No.
Dolls. Okay. Jessie J.
No.
Jordan Sparks.
No.
Anna Kendrick.
Hell no.
Leah Michelle.
No. She couldn't even read the script.
We got a few more to go. So
Okay, Leah, I'm gonna say maybe.
okay, I don't know who this person is. Y'all may have to help me out. Kristen Milioti. Moving on along. Amber Riley.
Ooh.
The vocals would have been there. The voice is there. The acting
chops. But this is what I will say. We haven't gotten to see her,
like outside of Glee.
Really do acting. So it could be there. I'm going to put her in my maybe category.
I think I would too, because I also know her, even on Glee, when she was having to cover those songs in a Glee way, she could make my hair stand up.
Oh, yeah. The voice, 100%.
Ariana DeBossi.
I don't know who that is.
She was the voice in Wish. Angela Bassett did the thing.
Oh, no.
Okay. Samantha Barks.
I don't know who that is.
Emmy Raver Lampman.
I don't know who that is.
These may be getting fake. If these are real names, sorry, y'all. Barrett Wilbert Weed.
Am I going to know any of the rest of these people?
MJ Rodriguez.
Let's move on.
Okay. I didn't know if you knew him, or I didn't want to silence like a black actor if that was the name. Okay.
Girl.
Okay, Glinda.
Okay.
This is already no for me. Amy Adams.
Who is it?
Enchanted.
No.
Yeah. Amanda Seyfried.
I don't think she has the voice.
I think the look could be there.
The look, 100%. I don't think she.
I also think she's too older for the role.
Is it? How old is she? She's not that old.
She's in her late 30s. She's older than Ariana.
Ariana's 32.
I think she's almost 40.
That's true. She looks really young.
Yeah. Katy Perry.
Absolutely.
She's way too
Wait,
old.
hold on. Instead of can't live popular, you're gonna be
Actually,
popular.
I think her voice is great, and I think vocally she could get there. The look, she's far too mature.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Lily Reinhart.
No.
Dove Cameron, who apparently was like, it was between her and the streets.
I love the look for her, the look-wise. I don't know enough about Dove's vocal ability.
Well, she's like an operatic singer.
Then hell yeah.
Yeah.
She heard Kristen Chenoweth originally wanted her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But Ariana has a bigger name.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, she probably killed the audition as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Ariana said something in an interview where she said she was on the Sweetener tour when it just, like, when the rumors started bubbling about her getting to audition, and she said, I will cancel this tour to get into classes for anything I need.
Yeah.
And that's dedication to the game.
Yeah.
Renee Rapp.
No.
Stephanie.
Actually, I think she would be, vocally, I think she would be a better Elphaba.
Yeah. The notes, the sort. Snow Angel.
Yeah. But look, too, there's something about her that is too mature.
Yeah.
And she's a baby.
Stephanie Hugh, HSU. And then Ashley Park, Brittany Johnson, Taylor Latterman. Do y'all know any of them? Okay, so sorry. That's probably why I didn't get it. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to fly through these, though, because these are like lesser characters. Fierro. Harry Styles.
Yes.
Shawn Mendes.
Yes.
Joe Jonas. Nick Jonas.
Wait a minute. Harry Styles is a big yes. I think he would have killed that.
For You're Downstairs.
No. No. First of all, he is so charming.
Yeah.
And so charming on camera. Also, dancing-wise, at first I would have said no because of that, but then in Sleep, Sleep, Baby, Good Night, whatever the
Don't worry, darling.
yeah, god dang.
Sleep, Sleep, Baby.
And Good Night, Darling. What's it called?
Don't worry, darling.
And Don't Worry, Darling, when he did that dance number, superb.
I never saw it.
Oh.
I didn't have my Regal card then.
And I think he would have been a beautiful choice.
Joe or Nick Jonas?
No.
No. Charlie Puth? No.
No.
I don't care what y'all say. No.
He is handsome.
No. Jordan Fisher.
Ooh.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Is a good one. He is so charming.
From the second he laid them vocals down, do you want to build a snowman? You remember that?
He is like his smile. Like he's one of those people that like You see him and you're like,
Yeah. He was Evan Hansen on Dear Evan Hansen.
he was.
On Broadway,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's very cute. I like him.
Spencer Sutherland.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, and I don't think we'll know any of these. Isaac Cole Powell, Carman, Ryan McCartan, Jelani Aladdin, and Daniel Bravo. I feel like these are names that like they were like, let's sneak in our friends on this Twitter. That's what I said.
Some of them I think are Broadway.
Broadway people.
Got it. So sorry, that's very
Because
real.
Taylor Louderman or whatever, I believe she was Regina George on Broadway.
I think so too. That did sound familiar to me.
Maybe they did consider for the role.
Well, yeah, I think that John M. Chu talked about that, like how they wanted to.
He originally wanted nobodies.
How he wanted
Really?
people with no names. Yeah.
That would be kind of fierce.
But he was saying once he saw Cynthia and Ariana audition, he was like, well, we have to do it this way. Like, we don't have a choice.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, these are going to go pretty quick. The Wizard. The only two other people they considered were Bryan Cranston from Walter White, Breaking Bad,
I never watched that.
and Steve Martin. I would have liked to see his, but he's always so likable. And I know the Wizard is supposed to be likable, but I thought Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Okay, this is my favorite. Madame Morrible. Hannah Waddingham.
I don't know who that is.
She's from Ted Lasso.
She would have been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And she's Broadway.
Imelda Staunton.
She plays Umbridge.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't know if Morrible has to be likable at the beginning. I don't know if I could see her as likable. And then Cheryl Lee Ralph.
Number one, she was who I was thinking because she was her on Broadway, and she would have been. Because listen, no disrespect to the lady who played her.
Michelle.
No disrespect to Miss Michelle. The vocals.
Someone said she took the no singing in the theater literally.
The vocals weren't vocally.
Well, I felt because she was like, I almost turned down the job multiple times because I was afraid to sing. And I'm like, girl, this is a musical.
Hearing that, you did really good, Miss Michelle. You really did. Not being a singer. But in the movie theater, I was like.
Be interested for part 2 because she has like a bigger song. Well, with Ariana too.
Yes.
Is it Thank Goodness?
They sing together.
Oh,
That's
wow.
going to be a mess.
That'll be fun.
That's going to be a mess.
Maybe they'll dub her. Honestly.
They need to.
So.
It's live vocals.
Yeah. Now, my friend and I were talking about this, though, with the TikTok, because I would have loved Cheryl Lee Ralph. I think she would have totally, like, kicked that out of the park. I don't do sports.
Knocked her out of the park.
But I think he said the one thing he did like about Michelle Yeoh as being a person of color still in that role is that if you're going, now this could be too deep, but it was like if you're going, it's like that's like an acceptable person of color to be like a assistant to the Wizard, and then Elphaba is like something totally different. And I was like, oh, T. My favorite Madame Morrible, though, that we just did not get to see was Miss Jennifer Lopez. She would say, you'll be making good. Let's get loud. Let's get loud. I loved it. And then Nessa, Ali Stroker, Lauren Spencer.
She was perfect. I wouldn't recast her.
Yeah,
for $1 million.
somebody said Gypsy Rose, and they kicked him off Twitter. And then Bach, the only person I knew was Kevin McHale. Did I move on too soon from that one? So those were apparently the potential other castings, and I was really into that, and I wanted to share it with the group today.
Love that. Thank you.
Yeah. So any more thoughts on Wicked?
I loved it. It was magical, and I wish we didn't have to wait so long for part 2.
Seriously.
Do they have a release date?
Next year.
November
21st. I will say it will be competing, I believe, with the new Hunger Games? Or is that coming out in 2026?
First of all, they was competing with Gladiator 2. Is the competition in the room with us?
I saw it too. It was good. It does not hold a candle to Wicked.
Was it good? Time out. I went and saw Wicked the second time before DX.
Same.
Time out.
Let's talk about it.
Time out. The way that, first of all, I didn't really know what 4DX was. I was just doing stuff.
You've never done 40X ever.
No. First of all, I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Had I known that, I would have dropped everything yesterday to join you.
The way, so I was with my homegirl, Julia. Jew babes. And We didn't realize that there was going to be air coming from the seat. The way I actually holler in the people theater. like holler. Sorry, y'all, for screaming at you. Holler.
So when it does the thing where someone falls and it kicks you in the back.
Me and Julia said, did that happen to you too?
Oh, yeah. Well, the first time, yeah. But I go to a lot of 4DX movies.
It was 3D. And I didn't realize how much water was in that movie until we did the 4DX. Why is there so much water?
It go poof in your...
It was so much. Then they had the little smoke coming out the bottom. It was a lot. And we just sitting there we was rickety and we was rockety.
That's why I said they should flip Gladiator, and because IMAX, I could feel it in my chest, see this huge flying scene, and then you go see Gladiator 2 where you get spun all around and you can smell Paul Mescal's must.
To Gladiators, the acting was done beautifully. It was so boring.
It was very much long.
Until the actual fighting. I was like, is somebody about to fight? It was just a lot of talking. Shut up.
Yeah.
Then it was way too gory for me. It was way too much blood. Also, ain't no way in the ancient medieval times they got the sharks in the arena. That cannot be historically accurate. How they catch them? I pissed me off.
That's where she could not suspend belief.
I know good damn well.
Also, just out for blood like that.
Yeah, the movie was good. The acting was good. I give it a 6 out of 10.
I will ask you this. You are captured and made to be a gladiator. That first round where they had to fight the monkeys, spoiler alert, it's not...
Spoiler alert.
Are you fighting for your life, or are you laying down like that one guy and said, just take me?
I know what I'm not doing. I'm not biting the monkey back.
This tea.
To end up with rabies. I don't have it in me to be fighting like that.
Raven's always said when the apocalypse comes, she's not going to be in the bunker.
No. Why? What are we waiting on? Who are we waiting on?
So we can eat out of beans and fight each other?
Just take me on the glory.
Yes,
I don't have
get your robe.
Get your robe.
Yes.
Is that one man who was like, I'm just going to die, but I don't want that thing to my neck.
Well, if you start bleeding out, you probably start like hallucinating.
Also, Paul really went through it in that movie. Everybody he loved got an arrow in the heart. That was
Gabe
terrible.
hasn't seen it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry. I said spoiler alert. He should have got up and left. My bad. Sorry.
All of that to say, Wicked.
It was great.
It was great. Go see it. I'm trying to wrap this up so we can go see it tonight. It's probably not going to happen because we had so much to say, but it was.
Going to happen.
Yeah, we could keep going. We can't. So yeah. Go see Wicked. It's amazing. Don't listen to the Facebook moms who are like, mamas. They don't even know. They saw it too. Go see it. Cynthia's amazing. Ariana's amazing. Not J-Lo is amazing, and it's a great thing.
And John M. Chu put his foot in it. The supporting cast, everyone from the dancers to the people who did costuming to people who built the set. Like it is all art.
Art. A-R-T.
So go see it. If you were like, I don't know, it's like not really my thing, go see it.
Yes. And Jonathan Bailey, mount me like you did that horse.
Jonathan, we didn't talk about Jonathan Bailey.
We didn't.
I'd say one thing.
Okay. We're not going to move on along yet.
Okay. He is so charming and so handsome and so... I love him.
Somebody said on Twitter, X, he had more chemistry than a meth lab.
He has chemistry with everybody.
Literally.
He just is. I want to hug him.
And upon watching it the second time, I was like, I guarantee everybody on that set was horny.
No, the lady, one of the producers, I think, she said she was like, we were all giggling. Like, we were all, she was like, he charmed everyone in the room.
Yes.
He's so talented.
Yes.
Because I like knew of Jonathan Bailey and I knew like, oh, he's cute and funny and like whatever. This has made me like, I'm in love with him. I want to hold hands with him.
I want to hold something.
Scarlett Johansson.
He's going to be in the new what?
He's the new lead in the new Jurassic Park with Scarlett Johansson.
Really?
I will finally be watching Jurassic Park.
Yeah, they're good. I
Oh
like
my
Jurassic Park.
gosh. I saw the first one. It was really good.
Yeah,
Especially
but-
for what it was.
He is a dream.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that like this is my like real introduction to him.
Have so you haven't seen Fellow Travelers?
No.
Mary, you want some
Who
good
is Mary?
You want some good acting?
Raven.
It's like a term.
Yeah, but you say it a lot.
Okay. Mary, did you know? No. Great acting. Fellow Travelers. He's got a foot fetish. That's all I'm going to say. And it's gay. I love it. Okay. Can we move on along now?
Yeah.
So with all that being said, thank you for listening to our Wicked review episode. It's been awesome. We know y'all been waiting for it. We've been excited to talk about it. We could go on about it so much longer, but we are going to help you out in that regard. So with all that being said, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Rewind the Podcast. If you want to listen to other episodes of Rewind the Podcast, you can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you like podcasts. I'm not here to tell you what you like because you're a grown adult who can see Wicked on their own, and you should. But if you want to watch the podcast and see our beautiful faces, you can watch us on the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and sign up for alerts because we are cranking out some good stuff. Maybe more than one episode. You never know. With all that being said, Raven.
Thank you so much for listening. When you go to Apple Music or Spotify, give us 5 stars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 4, 5, and leave a comment telling us if you love the podcast. If you don't love it, take it to God. Thank you so much for listening again. I've been Raven Dawson.
Where can they follow you?
Oh, you can follow me on all social media platforms at I am Raven Dawson.
And I am chronically online. You can find me tweeting at Jonathan Bailey almost every day on every platform at Blake Rackley. And with all that being said, we will see you
Next week.
or sooner than you think. Ha!
Toodles.
What is this feeling so sudden and new?
Bum, bum.